SourKidsProductions.
Hey, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Richard Ray Show. But again, for the second week in a row, we got to adapt the title of the show. All right. So the new title of the show this week, as it was last week, is going to be Richard Ray and Mrs. Bubbly. All right. The reason why we go with that name is because, one, she wants to remain anonymous, and two, she just loves champagne. And so, I remember last week I texted her, or was it last week I texted, I said, hey, what would you like to drink on the at the show today? She said, oh, some bubbles. I was like, oh, okay. So I said, so I got to start calling you Miss Bubbles, So then I started playing with it. I'm like, Miss Bubbles sound, it's cool, it's nice, but Mrs. Bubbly sounds even better. You know what I'm saying? But welcome back to the Richard Ray Show and Mrs. Bubbly. Part 2, actually, because last week we were talking about a video with Dr. Umar asking the Black male LGBTQ community what was the agenda. And actually, me and her, we had this conversation probably the day before or 2 days before we actually came up to the show. And, she really helped me, not necessarily help me not necessarily diagnose, but dissect it, but she actually put a good spin on it, because when I first listened to the video, it was about, when I was like, damn, like this dude, he's kind of hitting hard, you know what I'm saying, unnecessarily. But then she said, and it really pissed me off because some of the things that he said was kind of, I felt was blasphemous. But when you stop and think about it and really pause, she said, well, if he's not talking to you, why are you trying to make the shoe fit? Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's really real. And from then, since then, from that one conversation, man, I was like, yeah, I need to have you on my show. And I've been intrigued by her mindset since then. I've been intrigued by any and everything that she's had to say this entire time because she's great, and so I can't tell you her real name, but Mrs. Bubbly is absolutely phenomenal. And eventually, she's going to not be anonymous whenever she decides to not be anonymous, which is up to her, So I want to say what's up to my boy Jordan because I haven't seen him in feels like a year.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Where your Dr. Pepper at, bro?
Bruh, I drank it on the way over here, bro. Couldn't wait, bro.
Okay. See, man, Jordan is an absolute man. I love the kid, man. He's amazing. How old are you again?
21.
21. Wow. He's 21 years old. And he is he's a CEO at this point. At 21 years old.
COO is what Kenneth said I am.
Well,
Kenneth says I am.
Well, technically, Kenneth does own the majority of the show. But, it doesn't matter. Well, it matters. However, it's still a great accomplishment, and you guys are really growing and doing your thing.
Thank you.
And I can't express enough how proud of you guys that I am. I just wish that at 21 years old, I had as much gumption as you did at that age. My little sister actually just turned 22.
That's crazy.
Her birthday was yesterday, and I still got to call my granddad because his birthday is today. And so this is why I'm dressed the way that I am. I must say my outfit is kind of dashing, if I should say so myself.
Definitely. Very nice.
Oh, Mrs. Bubbly gave me a compliment. Thank you, girl. I truly appreciate it.
Yeah, if I would have known, I wouldn't have worn my Monsters Inc. shirt up here.
But hey, what I need you to do, all right. So for the individuals that don't know what the video was about, go ahead and play it from the beginning for me, and then from there we can start back over at 124.
What exactly do y'all stand for? What are your goals and objectives?
You know what? It seems pretty bold to ask something like that, seeing as how the only thing on most straight black men's resume is audacity. Y'all are literally the least qualified out of anybody in this country to lead somebody, but y'all always want to be in the front. But you know what? It's a special place in hell for a bitch like you that causes division amongst the entire community of people. I Out of every subsection of the black community, y'all are the least educated and the most incarcerated. Please tell me what qualifies you besides the dick between your legs to lead somebody into anything. Y'all always want people to breathe life into y'all, but at this point, it's just pure necromancy because we have no more life to give. Y'all suck the life out of every fucking thing. I mean, let's call a thing a thing. Y'all want to be white men so fucking bad. Y'all see white men at the heads of their household, and y'all can't even get a household to be the head of. Asking women questions like, what do they bring to the table when you don't even own your table, you rent it. Hell, that's even if you do rent it because it's probably in your mama's name. I mean, if we could call the thing a thing, y'all are the common denominator out of every issue that we have in the black community. Y'all are literally the root cause. Blame black women for fatherless behavior, but then fail to realize that the father is the person that you're not blaming. Y'all blame men for being gay and say, yo, you grew up without a father. Do you see how you just pointed back to the issue? Y'all blame women for having too many kids as if they made them kids by themselves. You keep pointing back to the issue. Y'all be wanting people to hold y'all down, but at the same time, if they too good at it, then they too independent. Then you want to say, oh, yeah, like, you don't need me. They kind of don't. Maybe what y'all should start considering is that maybe our community is meant to be matriarchal. But y'all just can't accept it because it doesn't fit into what the white man has told you to believe. You're trying to do everything that the white man does, but you're just trying to do it in black. It's literally the same shit. I mean, y'all are the most homophobic, the most misogynistic, the most transphobic, the most colorist, the most texturist, like the most xenophobic. And you are the most likely to date outside of your race. Y'all are a walking contradiction and a walking joke, and it's not funny. I always want to talk about breaking generational curses and building generational wealth, but you don't even have life insurance. Anytime you die, we got to do a damn GoFundMe. Y'all can't even die right. Y'all been trying to stick this square peg in a round hole for centuries, and it just doesn't work because you're not meant to be the head of the household. You were never meant to be. That's why the shit doesn't work.
And so that was that is the video of topic as it was last week. So wow, he said a lot of things.
Definitely did.
It's and so, some of it, well, let's be honest, a lot of it is going to be true. I just don't agree with that, that we're not made or that we can't lead or that we're not qualified. We just haven't aligned ourselves to be able to be truly ready to be able to do what we said that we want to do. But when it comes down to it, Jordan, play from 124 for me.
Keep pointing back to the issue. Y'all be wanting people to hold y'all down, but at the same time, if they too good at it, then they too independent.
Pause. Okay, so we be want people to hold us down, but if they too good at it, they too independent. I don't get that one. Can you?
I do. Mm-hmm.
Come on, go ahead.
Well, I mean, you got to remember there are a lot of women who, let's say, because the previous thing he said before this was like, basically like fatherless women. The fathers are absent in their life; they're not present. So a lot of women who are like that or who grew up like that tend to grow up and have to take on a more masculine role or have to be more independent. So then at times they may come across men where they've been independent for so long and they've been doing things on their own for so long that the men feel like, oh, well, you won't allow me to be a man, or, you don't need me because you are the man. When really, again, it's more so a trait that they've adapted just over time because there wasn't a man present there. So I definitely can agree with that because I just know, excuse me, like someone who personally dealt with a man who told her, like, hey, I feel like you don't allow me to be a man because she was, in his eyes, too independent. So when it came to like getting things done, those type of women, they can't sit back and like wait on you as a man to take care of things. And I know for some men, they feel like, well, I'm the man, let me do it, let me take care of it. But for that woman who's been independent for so long, she feels like, you kind of taking too long. Like, I need it done now. Like, I got it. So a lot of men don't like that because they feel like she's not allowing them to be a man, so to speak.
That's what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
She's too independent.
okay.
She's been taking out her own trash. She's been washing her own cars. Because it's a lot of women, like, I'm great at changing tires, all of that stuff. Because if a man is not present, am I supposed to just sit back and be helpless? Or do I
You
have
got
to
to
just
do it.
take on that role? Yeah,
Yeah.
and just do what I have to do.
Yeah.
And after so long of doing it, I'll be honest, it is a little difficult to unlearn that trait. Like, if I say, hey, babe, my tire's flat. Oh, well, I'll, just give me a minute. I'll get to you or whatever. Yeah, it's okay. I got it. Like, I don't have time to like wait on you to get here or whatever. I'll just do it myself.
And that's fine. I think for me, I don't have a problem with an independent woman. I don't love an independent woman, right? Um, if I have a woman and she needs her tire change, and if it's going to take me too long to get there, absolutely fucking do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why that. I think that because I used to be that. I think I used to be that way, but I've never ran into a woman that I was with. Her tires went flat, and I had to come and help her out or whatever. But for me, it's like the fact that I like that a woman may know that, because of the fact that, shit, if I can't get there in time, I need you to know how to do it, because I'd rather you be safe and get it done and get out the way, because by the time I get out there, it could have been done already. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think, man. I think if a man is upset at a woman being able to be independent, that's crazy. Now there is a aspect of it though, to where when a man comes in and wants to be a man, you have to afford him that opportunity to. Because no, obviously, if he is your man, you see him in a particular way anyway at this point, right? And so now what that means is the fact that where does it start? Because obviously you've agreed to be his woman.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, I guess it should be understood, what does it mean for you to be my woman and me to be your man? Because if you are as independent as you say you are, how do you have room, or how can I fit in your life in order to be able to be the man of your life? Right? Because what most women need to realize and understand is the fact that a good man, he's not going to want to take your plate. He's not trying to take your plate away from you. He's just trying to take some of it. He's just trying to take something off of your plate,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because he still wants you to eat all by
Right.
yourself, right? But he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to snatch the whole plate away from you. And I think that's where a lot of women, I think that's what women don't understand, because because they've been so independent for so long,
Mm-hmm.
that they don't get that aspect, or that they've run into so many man boys,
Yeah,
you know.
it's the latter. For
Yeah,
sure.
you know, that speak that, oh, I'm a man, but don't really hold the caliber of a man. It sounds good coming out because you think that because you're of age. You know what I'm saying? Legally you're a man, but mentally you're really not.
Exactly.
And so, like I said, I get it. I get that it could be hard, but I a man shouldn't be upset at that, in regards to it, because shit,
It goes back to what we said.
yeah,
Like what you said, a man boy.
yeah,
Like a man boy would feel a way about that.
yeah, yeah.
Because it's more so like a tantrum can be thrown, because it's like, you're not letting me be a man, when really you should come in, and I'm talking about, you shouldn't even give me the opportunity to even be able to do it, to the point where we don't even have to have an issue of, well, she's not allowing me to be a man, because you're already on top of it.
You already doing it, too.
Yeah, you're already on it.
Yeah.
And granted, women, of course, when we've been single for so long and we've been independent for so long, we also have to adjust
Correct.
to having like, oh, okay, I do, because I'm guilty of it. Like, there's plenty of times where I've been out, even if it's just a date, because I've been single for so long, I'm used to open my own doors.
Yeah.
Like, you witnessed it today. Like,
Yeah.
you came to open my door, but I was already getting out because
Yeah.
I'm just already accustomed to
Yeah.
it. So I have to kind of step back and be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, next time, let me let him open the door
Yeah.
for me. Like,
Yeah.
but some men don't know how to
'Cause
handle that.
It'd be like, I've run into a whole lot of women that's like that, like, and I'll be like, uh-uh, like, no. And I tell them, stop. I'll tell them, stop. No. What are you doing?
I've been told that before.
And it's not, and when I say no, stop, it's just to bring awareness to you. Pause.
And that's okay. That's
I
a great
got it.
thing.
But I guess, man, like if you are men out there that are upset, they get upset at that. I don't,
Check yourself.
yeah, definitely check yourself. Cause eventually, cause I like if I'm with you, you know what I'm saying? If you driving, for the most part, I'm gonna still come over and catch that though.
Okay.
Like,
And see, I'm the type where if you open my door, and even if you're driving, I'm still gonna open your door from the inside.
I dig that. I can get with that. And it shows like one, it just shows the awareness of each other. Because at the end of the day, like we both want to be served, right? We both want to be helped. We both want to feel important to the other, right? So I can dig it. Like if my girl reach over and
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get that door now.
yeah, hey, baby, thank
feel
you.
like I just feel like it should go both ways.
It
Certain
should.
things should go both ways. So that way, because I know some men sometimes can tend to feel like, well, I'm always opening her door. I'm always doing this for her. I'm always doing that for her. And it's like, well, just let me kind of show you my appreciation for the things that you do.
Yeah.
Because I know there are some women who probably don't agree with what I do, which that's perfectly fine. But
Yeah.
I feel like in the same token, let me appreciate you as well.
Yeah. 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 I think, man, and that's the thing too. Like not a lot of women nowadays show that appreciation from what I've seen.
No, me too.
And what I've
I'm
experienced.
well aware.
And a lot of
They
the time
don't.
it's always about me, right? And I was talking to my son's mom yesterday, and I was telling her, I said, bro, I'm at this point in my life. She said, I'm different. Like, I'm different from who I was. And I said, yeah, you're right. I am. I can't deny it.
Yeah, you've matured.
I have. And I said the sweet Richard, it's still there.
Yeah.
It really is. But I've had to grow as a person and understand like there are certain things that I demand and certain things that I need. And if you can't and you're not willing to give it to me, I can't force you to. And if I can, and since I'm not going to or even attempt to force you to, I gotta move around, right? Because with what I had to realize for a long time is that women they've been doing it all this time, right? Is the fact that, well, bruh, if you're not giving me what I need or what I want,
yeah,
you gotta
like
go.
healthy boundaries. So
Exactly.
I have my boundaries, and
Yeah.
and I have my needs. I have my wants. I
Mhm.
have hard nose. Like,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the same for men as well, or it should be. For
And now
men.
it should be, right? It definitely should be, but men should be able to implement those because of who they are as a person and not what society says it should be.
You're
Right?
right.
So, but Jordan, go ahead and play some more, brother.
Down, but at the same time, if they too good at it, then they too independent. Then you want to say, oh, yeah, like, you don't need me. They kind of don't. Maybe what y'all should start considering is that maybe our community is meant to be matriarchal.
Pause.
But y'all just can't.
Okay, maybe we should think, or maybe our community is meant to be matriarchal. I'm a,
Sip on that.
I'll say this, right? When it comes down to a man and woman both play their important roles,
I
right?
agree. Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, most women are better at holding things together than men are,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? Um, Hence the reason why most families fall apart when if mom dies or whatever,
Right.
right? And I believe that's what he means in regards to our community should be matriarchal, because as men we can't, as a provider, as a professor, as a protector, there are certain things that we're not going to pay attention to, or things that we can't afford to pay attention to because we have to pay so much attention to other things.
The nurturing.
Yeah,
That's where
yeah, exactly.
the women come
Yeah,
into
that's
play.
exactly where the women come into play. And I can't say that women don't need a man, and I can't say men don't need a woman.
We need each other.
We do need each other, right? Because it creates a healthy balance
It
if you allow it
does.
to,
Absolutely.
right? Yeah. Like you can, let's be honest, I can cook for myself. You know what I'm saying? I can go and be a hoe and get women and
Mm-hmm.
fuck on women,
Mm-hmm.
right? I can go wash my own clothes. I could go do all of these things on my own, right? I can make sure that I'm taken care of in all of the ways that I need to be taken care of.
Mm-hmm. Except for when you need that nice hug at night or after a long day at work.
Yeah.
You can't give that to yourself.
Yeah, you can't. You can't give that to yourself, and that's the aspect that most people are missing. It's
Mm-hmm.
the love of that individual,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not only just the love of the individual, but the presence and the essence of the
Mm-hmm.
individual. Because the thing is that yeah, there are other women that can uh do what you can do, right? There are other women that can cook. There are other women that can fuck me and suck me or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There are other women that can wash my clothes, that can help me take care of the household and things like that. However, the thing is the fact that there's no one that does it like you,
Right.
right? There's nobody out here that knows me like you.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nobody out here that knows my vulnerable side like you.
Mm-hmm. Only when you open up and you show it.
Only when you open up. Because honestly, if a man can cry with you, if a man can be vulnerable to you and not have to worry about you taking that vulnerability as weakness, that means something, especially if he's a man.
Absolutely.
Because it takes a lot for a man to even be able, because it takes a lot for a man to be able to cry in front of a
Well,
woman.
he has to feel safe.
He has to feel
It's
safe.
the same for a woman.
I know it, right? And so and that's really what he's meaning by well, this is what I believe that he's meaning as matriarchal, is the fact that women are nurturers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You make a house a home.
absolutely.
You do.
The right women, you know.
Exactly.
The right women.
And of course, we didn't have to explain that. We
Right,
already
right,
know,
right.
right? A good woman makes a house a home, right? And a good man is gonna
Oh yeah.
a good man's gonna be like, hey baby, all
He's
right,
gonna
cool.
be their protector.
Yeah.
He's gonna be everything that she needs, like you said, to
Exactly.
create that healthy balance.
Exactly. But the thing is the fact that even I tell men all this, tell men this all the time. You have to know when to concede your power,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have to know when to be able to give it.
Mm-hmm.
Because all right, babe.
Right.
All right,
You
but
got
hey,
it.
I
Yes.
bought we got a house together, but it's yours. You got it. I'm gonna take care. I'm gonna take care of everything else. But other than that, the way it's decorated, that's on you. Give me my one little spot.
Exactly.
Give me my man
I'm still
cave.
gonna incorporate you.
Yeah,
I'm
you know
still
what I'm
gonna
saying?
make sure you good because
Yeah,
it's your space and your safe place as well.
exactly. Because at the end of the day, yeah, it's our home.
Absolutely.
It's our home. But I'm safe in our home because of what you've done to it, right? The love.
Wifey got it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I've always wanted to be like that,
Yeah.
like because I've only lived with one woman in my life, right?
Okay.
And it was my son's mom,
Gotcha.
right? But it wasn't to the point to where like, hey babe, we couldn't afford to be like, oh babe, hey, it's your house, just do whatever you
Right,
want,
right, right,
you
right.
know. But now at this point, it's like whoever I end up with now, we live together, we get married, whatever. Like, even if we're not married, we live together. Hey, baby, like, do whatever. It's
Mhm.
you.
And see, not every man feels that way.
Hey, baby, it's something that I don't need to worry about.
Yeah, but like that's why I said not every man, because a lot of men struggle with control. Like they struggle with the power and feeling like, because what'll happen is they'll say, "Oh yeah, babe, this your house, this your home, do your thing." But as soon as a argument comes or an issue comes about, it's like, "Well, I pay the bills. This my house." So that's kind of where the issue comes in with like control and power. So that's what I
Mm,
meant by, both parties just have to feel safe. I've only
mm-hmm.
lived with one man, my son's father, but you have to, just know like, hey, it's really all in all, it's us. I can't necessarily say I agree with like the whole matriarchal situation because at the end of the day, it's us together. We're a
Correct.
unit.
Yeah.
Like it's neither the women that makes it nor the man that makes it. We both make it,
Yeah.
So
We just got we just have our parts that we have to
right,
play
we have our roles.
because at the end of the day, I remember I was talking to this young lady. She lives in I don't know where she's at now, but when we were talking, she lived in Plano,
Hmm.
and it was weird to me that she had a beautiful home or whatever, but she never locked her patio door,
Hmm.
and she never kept a lock on the back gate.
Hmm. I lock my
And
bedroom door when I go to sleep at night. Like
yeah,
I lock
but
everything.
I told her, I asked, I said, why don't you lock your door, or why don't you put a lock on that back gate? Because your back gate literally faces the street, right? She said, well, I live in a pretty safe neighborhood.
Yeah,
I don't,
but
nothing over here is ever. I said, just because something's never happened doesn't mean it can't
it
happen
can't.
or that
There
it
you
won't
go.
happen. And it's
But
up to you to be able to make sure that you have all your grounds covered. Right? I say, bro, what kind of safety measures do you have in place in order if something goes wrong? Or how do you protect yourself? How do you, like, how are you aware of your surroundings? Right? And I told her, I said, bro, I said, if you're gonna be with me, you gotta take some kind of self-defense classes. You gotta learn how to handle a gun, a knife, or something,
something.
right? Because it's not about nothing never happening. It's about if something never happens. And
Hmm.
if it does happen, are you prepared for it? Right?
Hmm.
It's not about being a doomsday prepper or whatever the case may be, but it's
Right.
always about you never know what to expect.
Hmm.
And she told her mom what I said because she was all upset about it. I was like,
Oh
when I
wow.
said about learning how to use a gun or whatever, because she was literally pissed off at me, right?
Hmm.
And her mom, she said she talked to her mom about it, and her mom said, "Well, baby, he has a point." She said, you are not aware of your surroundings at all. She said, you don't have any way to defend yourself. Like nothing like that. Right. And this lady, and she's older than me,
Hmm.
right? And she was extremely upset at me when I said something about a
Cause she
gun.
took offense to it.
She did.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that, you're not I'm not saying that you're wrong for how you think. I'm just saying that you don't know what's gonna come your way.
You have to be prepared just
You
in
you
case.
have to,
Like
because honestly, I can't always be around to protect you.
absolutely.
So I have to know that you know how to protect
Protect yourself.
yourself, regardless. I'm not saying you got to be out here being Jet Li or be a special ops motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying you got to be a Chuck Norris or a goddamn Bruce Lee or a god whatever. You know
Oh
what
my
I'm saying?
goodness, I'm
I'm just
dead.
saying you just have to be able to.
Protect yourself.
That's it. And on top of that, you have a son. Like I don't know. I think her son was like 11 at the time.
Oh no.
I said, you got your son at home. He's always in his room playing video games, right? Like neither one of you are ever prepared or conscious of what's going on around you. Just because you're in your safe haven doesn't mean that it's safe.
Yeah. You're right. But I think maybe that also stems from maybe how she grew up.
Yeah, yeah, and I can understand that.
Yeah.
But I brought that to attention because it just goes to show that we both have a vital part to play.
Absolutely.
Because she wasn't thinking about what I was thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
see, I be thinking like that all the time. I'm always
You have
on my
to.
toes.
You have to. Like when I'm out,
Mhm.
like when I'm out, man, my head stay on the swivel.
Always.
Like I'm always looking. And I tell young ladies when I first meet them, I'm like, just pardon me, just excuse me. Like I'm very aware of my surroundings. So if you see my head going like this, I'm just
peeping the scene.
that's all I'm
to
doing.
See what's going on.
Because I've always had the mindset to where like if anything goes wrong, I have to be prepared to be able to handle the situation.
Absolutely.
Right. And that's why I've never really liked a big crowd of people because it's out of my control.
Yeah, I don't like big crowds either.
Yeah, you know, it's out of my control. So
I have to find a corner, even if it's in a field.
Yeah.
I just have to find a spot so I can
Yeah.
kind of see what's going on. Like
Mhm.
I'm very aware. Like I even in certain situations, if I have to change how I walk, you know, how I'm talking certain
Yeah.
things, just so you can know and you can feel the energy. Like, ooh, I don't think she's gonna be an easy target.
Yeah.
Like I might have to fight her. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I'm gonna protect myself for
Absolutely.
sure.
Absolutely. So yeah, I think I think that's really what when he says matriarchal, I understand what he like, you know, I don't. That's the way I took it. I don't think that he's thinking about it that way because, of course, he's gay.
Right.
He's not thinking about a woman in that nature. He's just thinking about, or he could. Well, he could. He still has a
He
mother.
could be, yeah.
He still has a mother.
Could be. I think
So he could.
again just speaking to that group of men, you know, where they have those pride and ego trips, like.
Yeah, like I said, man. For me, hey, baby, all right, cool, good. Hey, because if I, let's be honest, you know something that I don't know. I know something that you don't know. You know how to do something that I don't know how to do. I know how to do something that you don't know how to do. Shit, you're an expert at something and you have no idea about what I know. Like it's just one of those things that
unit. Like,
yeah, that's
we work
it.
together.
Together. and that's what things are this is what relationships are missing now. Are the togetherness. What, right? And because a lot of people handle relationships according to because this is absolutely off track and off topic, but I was watching this reel earlier on Facebook, and this lady, she was short, she like 3'6".
Oh wow.
Right. And you know, she says that her some of the relationships, you know, of course she brings a lot of attention because of her height. She was beautiful, don't get me wrong, but you know, she brings a lot of attention because of her height and how beautiful she is and things like that. And some people can handle it and some people can't. But some people, they don't in total because of what they say, because they let societal thoughts get to how they handle the situation in regards to, do I want to be seen out in public with this person or things like that, or this person isn't as tall as I am. Like I don't. For me, like if I'm with you, I'm with you. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I personally, I'm not finna date a 6'2" motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be honest. I'm not about to do that.
Because I have my preferences as well.
Yeah,
I'm, considered tall, so I can't date certain heights.
Yeah, man, listen. I can like if my woman like so if I have a girl, you know, she a little bit shorter than me or my exact same height or whatever, and she put on some heels and she taller than me, I'm cool with that.
A lot of men are, but see, for someone like me, I'm not okay with it because if I'm going through life constantly being made to feel like I am just so tall, like, oh, you just tall, you tall, you tall, you tall, you tall, I want to feel small. So I want to have someone where even when I do put my heels on, you make me feel small. But that's just, that's me. That's my preference.
Yeah.
Like, if we're laying in bed at night, I want you behind me where I feel small. I don't want to feel like you a backpack. Like,
Damn, Jordan.
But that's
Backpack, baby. You a backpack man.
backpack. Like, but that's my preference because that's what I need for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
You know, you got a lot of women out here. It might be 5'11" without heels on, dating a dude 5'6", and they're perfectly fine with that. You know, but that's my preference.
I can get with you. I can bust you down or whatever, but I can't. Like, I
but
can't.
it's
Ooh.
more so. Like I said, I want to feel small. Like
Yeah.
when you think of like a protector, your man being your protector, you feel like, in my mind, you feel like he's bigger than you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so for me, I'm like, ooh, especially if you like a little bit shorter than me without heels on, and then I want to put like, oh my gosh, like, oh
Yeah.
no, I feel away.
Yeah.
Like,
I got you.
I feel like if anything pops off, I gotta be like, hold on, baby, I got it.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
like,
Hold
I
on,
got
little
it,
nigga.
right? I got it.
Hold on.
Don't worry about it. I might pat you on top of the head. Like, I got it. Don't worry about it.
Man, it's crazy. But I've done like I've a couple women that I've went on dates with from the first moment. They were like, it's just something. They say something about you. Like I feel safe with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's good, and because that's just how I am.
Mm-hmm. That's how you carry yourself.
Yeah,
But then you also have weight on you as well.
Yeah.
Like, that's also another thing. Like, we can't weigh the same.
Yeah.
And then you're shorter than me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like, I'll tend to be like, I have a 12-year-old. So
Yeah.
it's like, ooh, I feel like you're my son, like, like it's not giving, man for me, and not knocking, the guys that are shorter. But
Yeah.
again, just for me, I tend to feel a little uncomfortable because I just feel like, hey, if anything pops off, I'm the man. Like, I'm the
Yeah.
one that has
Yeah.
to step in.
I got you. I
And I'm not
understand.
gonna lie, I'll be honest. If I could look at you and feel like I can drop you, like, I
Oh,
can
yeah.
take you. Like, I got it.
Yeah.
Like, I know I can. I fought a lot of dudes in my
Yeah.
day. Like, I got you. I don't feel protected by that.
No, you can't. Man,
Like-
I looked say my little sister, she just turned 22 today. And I looked at her, I'm like, damn, bro, what you been doing? You big, bro. Like, you
yeah,
kind
like
of
she might could take you.
No, ma'am. And she already know what's up. She already know what's up. Like, cause my other little sister, my baby little sister, she's like, I'm gonna get Kenyatta, because that's my oldest little sister's name.
Mhm.
My little sister Linda, she stood behind her.
Mhm.
And she kind of taller than me, but that's cool.
Mhm.
All my like my little brother and my little sister, they're taller
That's
than
all.
me.
Okay.
But they know what's up.
Right.
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
Right.
And my little sister Kenyatta, she just stepped to the side. She said, "Nope, I'm good." Because me and my little sister, we didn't play fault. We didn't squabble a little bit.
Oh yeah, of
You know,
course. I done
just
fought some of my
yeah,
cousins.
just
My
just
boy
so she could see,
cousins.
just so she could
Like,
see where she at. And
yeah.
she already know. I remember, man, like one time we was playing, she squared up on me, we were swinging. I did the boom, hit her right in the thigh, and she went stumbling backwards. And she's like, oh, I'm like, I know you wasn't ready for that. You know what I'm saying?
Shoot,
Because
that's funny.
everybody know, like me, like they know who I am and how I am, right? And so they were like, yeah, no, we don't want to do that with Richard.
See, I get underestimated a lot because a lot of people look at me and they be like, oh, she pretty, she bougie.
Yeah.
Like, I can take her until they find out. Again, I grew up literally between my dad's brothers and sisters, there is literally like, back then it was maybe 12 boys and 3 girls.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. And I was the middle of the 3 girls. So the boys, only 2 of the boys were younger than me.
Yeah.
And not like we were born in the same year. So, only by months.
Mm.
So growing up with that many boys, like we were very rough. Like I still have, grit about me,
Mhm.
because I grew up with so many boys. But when
Yeah.
people see the surface of you, they can look at you and they can underestimate you and think,
Yeah.
oh, okay, she not gonna do nothing. She ain't
Yeah.
like, and then, like I said, I
Yeah.
fought quite a few boys, like,
Yeah.
and none of them can say that they beat me up. None of them.
It's crazy, man. But no, like that's why I said I knew it was gonna be off topic, but
It's okay. That's what a podcast is.
that's
It's just
it.
open
But like
conversation.
one thing I love about my show is the fact like it's never scripted.
Right.
And it just goes.
Mhm.
And wherever it goes, it just goes.
It goes.
Right. And that's what people say that they love about my show as well. It's just the fact that it's just not you can tell it's unscripted, but it's so
It's just real.
that's really what it is,
It's
you
real.
know. But go ahead and play some more Jordan.
Meant to be matriarchal. But y'all just can't accept it because it doesn't fit into what the white man has told you to believe. You're trying to do everything that the white man does, but you're just trying to do it in black. It's
Pause.
literally the same shit.
Your thoughts. Go ahead.
I don't agree. That I don't agree. I can't say that they're just trying to do everything that like the white man says to do. It's just that's pretty much been the thing since the beginning of time. Like the
Yeah.
man runs the household, you know,
Yeah.
so to speak. So I don't necessarily think it's an issue of like the black man is trying to be like the white man. So no, like I don't agree with that.
Okay, good. Because I think I said this last week. It's not about us
Yeah.
trying to be like a white man.
Not
It's just
at all.
about showing you, hey, you're not the only ones that can get it.
Exactly.
You know, it has nothing to do with, for us, it has nothing to do with us trying to emulate them.
Right.
It has everything to do with you're not the only one, baby.
Exactly. We can do it too.
Yeah, we can do it too. You know, so go ahead, keep playing something, Jay.
In black. It's literally the same shit. I mean, y'all are the most homophobic, the most misogynistic, the most transphobic, the most colorist, the most texturist, like the most xenophobic.
Pause. The fuck is xenophobic?
Let's Google it.
I was about
Let's
to do that.
see.
I'm pretty sure it just means that you're scared of stuff that's different, or you dislike things that are different.
Okay. Come
I
on,
can
Jordan.
agree with that. Right.
I
Come on,
can-
Jordan.
I can definitely I can definitely agree with that in the aspect because for a long time I didn't want any gay male friends.
Yeah.
But honestly in high school I did have a really good gay male friend. I didn't know that he was gay though. That was the thing. Right? Because we would always talk about girls, you know what I'm saying? Like really talk about girls.
Some of them are really cool.
Yeah, but
Like,
But then when I found out, somebody told me, like,
mhm.
because we was in choir together. Somebody said, you know he's gay, right?
Oh, you know, I saw your little choir thing at the house too.
What
The
choir
little-
thing?
You know, the little thing that go in your Letterman jacket.
So,
And actually, I was kind of wrong. It's
What is it?
a dislike or prejudice against people from other countries.
that's
Mm.
that's not going to be factual at all.
Oh, yeah. No, I can't say
That's not at all. He's just ranting at that
Ranting,
point.
Yeah.
So now I can say that, you know, for a long time I was homophobic because I was just like, well, I can't be friends with someone that doesn't like the same things that I like. However, as I was growing up, actually for a long time, besides that one guy from high school, like I said, I didn't know he was gay. But then even when I did find out that he was gay, I didn't.
was cool.
We were still
Yeah.
cool. That was still my dude.
He didn't try you.
No, absolutely not.
That's what a lot of guys think. A lot of
Yeah.
guys think because they're gay, oh man, he looking at me. He
Yeah.
gonna try to touch, and it's like, sir, I don't want you.
Yeah, but
Like-
the thing is the fact like when you pause and think about their sexual preference has nothing to do with you. Who they are as a person does. Their
Mhm.
caliber, their
Mhm.
caliber and their character.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is what you should be friends with.
Mhm.
Because the young lady I was talking to that had the house and things like that, my boy called me like while I was sick because me and her we scheduled some time together or whatever. And then he called me and told me like he got hit by a car, ran over, somebody tried to run him over with a car or whatever. And me and her we scheduled some time that weekend to be together. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, cool. So I was at her house. He let me know, and I said, hey, I'll be back. I went to go check on him. You know what I'm saying? That's my dude.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, he's gay.
but that's my friend.
You know he's gay. Yeah,
Right.
he's kind of feminine, but
That's my
like
friend.
who he is as who he is as a person. He's the guy that when I didn't have a car and I needed to get to work, he picked me up and took me to work, took me home and things like that. When I didn't have something to eat, he would bring me some food or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Right now, don't get me wrong, I knew that like even he told me at one point, he said, "Yeah, bro, I find you extremely attractive," and that's cool. I don't care about
Right.
that because shit, women find me attractive, men find me attractive. It is what it is,
Right.
right? But he already knew. Like he said, I told him, I said, "Bro, but you already know." He said, "Yeah, I
Right.
know that you're not
He
like
didn't
that."
act on
Yeah,
anything.
he didn't act on anything, right? Uh, and 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 another one of my coworkers that I used to work with, he was gay. Well, he is gay.
He is right.
But I can go to his house, kick it with him or whatever, and shit like that. And for a long time, I was just like, well, if I do these things, like, will they take it to the aspect of? But one gay guy when I was in college did take it the wrong way. Like I was nice to
I
him, you know
mean,
what
you
I'm
might
saying?
get that one,
Yeah, he's like, he say, are you gay? Like, the fuck? Do I give
Nah,
off a gay vibe?
no, you
Like,
don't. But
but that was the thing.
he
I
was
was like,
probably
nah, bro.
hoping.
Like, I'm just being nice.
Yeah,
That's
he
really
was
all it
hoping.
is. You know. So, but what she said was, she felt like I left her to go see another woman. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
She just wasn't secure within herself. That's all
Yeah.
that was.
But so I was like, okay, that's weird, but nah, but I think as a man, right? If you're comfortable with who you are, you
Hmm.
don't need to explain to anybody what that dynamic of that relationship is, because the people that know you,
Hmm.
and they know how you get down, they know who you are, right? And so the public is going to think whatever they want to think. They're going to do they're going to comment on whatever they want to comment on, but and that's one of the things I was at first I was like, well, shit, I don't know, like I can't really just, and then like one guy was like, well, my boy, because when I had ankle surgery last year, about a year ago, and he said, the nurse said, hey, ma'am, I said, that's my brother, that's a boy, that's a guy,
Hmm.
and he was like, it's okay, because he does come off very feminine.
Hmm.
Like, if you okay with it, cool, but just know you always gonna be my boy. Like, you're gonna be
Right,
my
right. My
brother.
bro.
I'm
Yeah.
not finna call you shit, and I'm not finna call you that shit.
Yeah, I got you. I
Um,
got you.
'Cause you can't force me to call you that,
You
and
right.
if our
You
relationship
right.
is dependent upon that, we probably don't need to be friends,
Gotcha.
right? But no, I can't say, like, I think a lot of men now, because of how we were brought up, was the
Hmm.
fact that, oh, manly man, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying, manly
Oh
man,
gosh.
you know, but now, if you just start, and she did ask me a good question though. She asked me, she said, how can you explain to your son when he gets older about, you having gay friends? I'm like, well, I'll explain it to him like this. People have their sexual preferences that have
Hmm.
nothing to do with you, right? However, if you're going to be friends with that person, be friends with that person because of who they are as a person, not
Hmm.
because of the sexual preferences that they have,
Hmm. Oh
right?
yeah, my son has
Um,
an uncle that's gay,
yeah,
and I mean he's not even my real brother, but my son is the relationship that they have.
yeah.
My son, like when he finally did get old enough to realize, like, oh hey mom, oh I didn't
Yeah,
realize that was his boyfriend, like.
yeah,
But it's like, okay, like it's
yeah.
that's
Because
still my uncle,
I
like
love them anyway, right?
right,
And but that's the thing, like, because me growing up, I had some gay males in my family.
right.
I had gay aunties,
Right.
right? That
But
are,
sometimes the women is more accepted than
but
the
yeah, you're right.
men.
You are right.
Hmm.
But either which way, I just think that um people can't get over their homophobia and things like that by just
Yeah.
accepting people for
Who they
their
are.
character and who they are,
Hmm.
and not their sexual
It's
preference.
the stigma that comes with it, like
Yeah,
you said, the manly man and things like that. But
yeah.
he did also mention the most colorist. And I have to speak on that because you do have a lot of black men out here that only want to date, light skinned or mixed chicks, or, they're very colorist. these days. And
I don't really think that just boils down to a man. I really think it boils down to just society and as a whole, to be perfectly honest, because when you look at when you 'cause a while years ago I seen this video
mhm,
um in regards to little girls playing with
mhm,
white dolls or black dolls,
mhm,
right? um people are people are 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 subconsciously conditioned to believe that the lighter, the brighter, the better, right? And because even dark skinned black girls
mhm.
didn't want to play with a dark skinned doll,
Right.
right? Um, and because of how it looks,
Mhm.
right? But what people fail to realize is the fact that me personally, I don't discriminate in regards to a complexity of a woman. If I like you, I like you. I prefer a beautiful chocolate skinned woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But women are beautiful to me. I don't give a fuck if you purple, green, yellow. If you are absolutely you gorgeous,
You better
regardless.
not be green.
But
But I mean, but there are a lot of guys. I mean,
you're
let's
right.
just
I
be
can't disagree.
real.
You're
There
right.
are a lot of guys out here. Oh, she's Spanish. Oh, she's, this or she's that. She's everything but black or dark skin.
But I've
So,
ran into black women that said they don't date black men.
but a lot of those women that say they don't date black men is probably because a black man has made them feel like they were less than.
Okay, could that be the same for a black man?
It
Yeah.
can.
Okay.
It can. It definitely can.
Because there's so
But I
many
think a
different.
lot of it, like, because you have so many men these days that are like, because I even deal with it,
Yeah.
like where guys are like, "Ooh, you look mixed. You have curly hair," and I'm like, that's not a compliment.
Yeah.
Like, so are you only talking to me because I look mixed, or because I have curly hair? Because
Yeah.
they're not looking at the woman for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of beautiful, especially chocolate women out
Oh,
here who also have
yes,
really good hair.
Jesus.
Like,
Yes,
but
Jesus.
you do get a lot of men that they just want that extremely light skinned or fair skin.
Yeah.
And it's like, but why
Yeah.
though?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Like, why? And instead of them, of course, they can have their preference, but a lot of them will try to make like a woman, like I told you, I've been called ugly before
Yeah.
by black people,
Mm-hmm.
Even though I know people sometimes be like, really? What? Like, no, something's wrong with that person. But you have those people, like you
Yeah.
have those, black people who will try to make you feel less. I've even been told, oh, I only date mixed chicks.
Mm.
But why are you dating me? Because I'm black. Like,
Yeah.
I'm confused now.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think it's just what society and the entertainment industry has distilled and
I don't need
um
again, I don't blame it on
no
society
I
or the industry. I
okay.
just think it's more so also a preference of like, ooh, she black, she gonna have an attitude.
But every woman has
She
an
gon'
attitude.
but again, to an extent, because depending on, because you got to think about it. Let's say a woman who's of darker skin,
Mm-hmm.
she may have had to go through a lot of discrimination,
Mm-hmm.
more so than myself. You
Absolutely.
know,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, her attitude might be a little worse than mine because of the
Mm-hmm.
things that she's had to endure because of her skin tone.
Yeah.
Because I've even had to deal with, of course, the backlash of like, I had a girl tell me, even in middle school, and I'm not gonna lie, I respected her for being honest with me and telling me. I think I was in like the 8th grade.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm not gonna lie, when I first met you, I thought you were just another light skinned girl who was just stuck up and bougie. She was like, but you actually cool. So it's like, I get,
Yeah.
I go through things, even though I may not be dark skinned or whatever the
Mm-hmm.
case may be, because people will look at the surface of me
Mm-hmm.
and automatically assume things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what some men do. Not all men,
Yeah.
but you do have some men that, or even, I ain't gonna say, I'll take it even further. Ooh, my baby will be pretty. Cause ooh, she got curly hair and she got green eyes. Like, they will go that far.
I would say it like this. My niece, Olivia, she has some of the most beautiful black as like she's not extremely black, but she's light skinned,
Mm-hmm.
but she's black.
Yeah.
And when I say this girl has the most beautiful eyes,
Oh.
when I say her, she was like gray,
Mm-hmm.
like her eyes are like I've never seen eyes like it before. And I was like, boy, I said, brother,
Uh-oh.
I hope you ready, my boy. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, Jordan, play a little bit more for us. We got a couple more minutes left.
And you are the most likely to date outside of your race. Y'all are a walking contradiction and a walking joke, and it's not funny. I always want to talk about breaking generational curses and building generational wealth, but you don't even have life insurance. Anytime you die, we got to do a damn GoFundMe. Y'all can't even die right.
Pause. And that part though, that was the part I was really intrigued to get to because that's going to be one of the that's probably going to be the truest statement that he said.
Yeah.
All the whole video because with me I'm into the life insurance, health insurance, and the investments and stuff like that now, right? And being able to really understand, right? And yeah, you do got to go worry about a GoFundMe and things like that. As black men, we are worried about going and we think about protecting our loved ones in the traditional sense of making sure that I got my weapons on me. I got to make sure that I'm ready to shoot them up, bang bang if I got to. I got to make sure if somebody called me talking about a dude and put their hands on her, I got to be ready to pull up and things like that. I'm ready for those, but you're ready for the traditional sense, but you're never ready for the ultimate sense.
Yeah.
You're never ready for that day that you're going to die, and you're not thinking about protecting your family from the debts and the cost of
Burying you.
burial and even the
Yeah.
cost of cremation and things
All
like
of
that, right? And also the debts that your family inherit because of you, right? The debts that were unfinished, right? And being able to understand what insurance is now is literally the definition of insurance because you've worked in the industry
I
before.
have.
Is going to be the sense of literal definition of insurance is the transfer of risk. That is literally what the definition of insurance is. And people think, oh, insurance is a scam. If you don't understand it, you can view it that way, right? However, when you're working at a job, right, there's a code of conduct that you have to follow,
Yeah.
right? And if you don't follow that code of conduct, or if you violate that code of conduct, you can lose your job, and you're upset at your job for letting you go for violating a code of conduct that you've agreed to. And insurance is just the same way. There's a particular guideline that you have to follow in regards to your health, in regards to making sure that you're not intentionally doing something that's going to cause bodily harm to yourself or cause a guaranteed loss, right?
That's why if you smoke, it's typically gonna cost you more.
It's going to cost you more,
because
absolutely.
you are at a higher risk.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Exactly. And so but that's the thing, like when I started understanding what different insurances are, it really impacted my mindset. I'm like, wow, this is how I don't need to say this, but no offense to Jordan because he knows how I am already.
Right.
This is how white people have been getting along this whole time.
Yeah.
Right? Everything that you look at is insured.
Absolutely.
If people go out here and insure limbs, body parts, right? What? If people but you hear a lot about these rappers dying or these musicians dying. Guess what these record labels got?
Insurance.
They have insurance policies on all these motherfuckers.
Absolutely.
Right? They have insurance policies.
On my investment.
Exactly. And one question I always ask people is, what's your most valuable asset? Right? And most people say, oh, this, that, boom, boom, boom. But people fail to realize your most valuable asset is yourself.
Yeah.
Because everything else that you feel like is your most valuable asset can be replaced.
It can.
The only thing that can be
can't.
replaced is you.
Absolutely.
Right?
Okay, Beyonce.
So now, in regards to it, people, when you listen to this episode, I urge you, if you are not insured, please get insured. And if you don't understand what insurance is or the different types of insurances there are, please, please. And if you don't know, I know them. I can put you on. I can tell you how to, not necessarily tell you how to qualify, but I can get you policies that can get you insured, and not only get you insured, but absolutely be able to help you be able to do what you see on TikTok all the time, become your own bank, right? It's not, people, it's not, that is not a scam. It's really not. But yeah, he's right. We can't die right. So
I have to agree.
I do too. So people, whoever, man, woman, whatever you identify as,
Children.
even children, make sure that you have the policies necessary in order to be able to make sure that your family is covered, and your loved ones are covered. Because yeah, you have your term policies. You have your whole life policies. You have your universal index policies. You have your variable insurance policies, and all
Now,
these
them
are different
terms, be
policies.
aware of those term
Be
policies, though.
very aware of those term policies,
term
and this is
policies.
one of the reasons why people think insurance is a scam, because of these term policies, right?
You gotta know what you signed
You
up
got to know
for.
what you signed up for.
Like, you can't sign up for a term until you're 65, because again, these days you can live to be 100.
Exactly. And the whole life, and these Indux universal life insurance policies, they cover you for a long time. But not only do they cover you for a long time, they put money, and you put money into it, and they put money in your pocket.
They do.
Let's be honest.
They do.
But we're not gonna keep going into that, because
But
because I can keep going about it. Go ahead and play the last little bit, Jordan.
The square peg in the round hole for centuries, and it just doesn't work because you're not meant to be the head of the household. You were never meant to be. That's why the shit doesn't work.
Okay. So in regards to we wasn't meant to be the head of the household. I completely disagree with that. We are meant to be the head of the household. However, you have to know how to lead. You can't say that you are the head of the household just because you're a man, right? You have to. There's some things that you have to do in order to be able to really secure the fact that you are the man of the household, because there are certain parts that we play as men, as far as protector, providers, professors, not teachers, but professors, in regards, like, I'm telling you, and I don't have an issue with confessing to my woman how I feel.
Professing.
Yeah, professing.
Yeah.
There we go. And so you have to. Let's be honest. You have to qualify.
You do.
You ultimately have to qualify, because just because you're a man doesn't mean that you're a leader.
You're fit to be head. But I'm not gonna lie, I'll be honest, I have to disagree. I don't feel like men are meant to be the head of the household.
In what aspect?
Because again, I feel like we are a unit.
No,
I feel
okay.
I feel
that's a
like,
part that I
but
have to go
but
further
I
in detail with
feel
that.
like, because what he's saying, or the way that I'm taking what he's saying, is he means the man leads, the household. But from my perspective, again, we're a unit. So it's neither me leading nor you leading, or me being the head of it nor you being the head of it. It's just more so we know, like, in certain situations, okay, you take the lead because of this type of situation. In other situations, okay, I take the lead in this type of situation. So I don't necessarily agree with the men are meant to be the head of the household. I feel like, again, we're a unit. We work together. You're not above me. I'm not above you. Like, we're there together. We just know our roles.
Okay. So when I say, like, honestly, let's be honest. When it comes down to it, yeah, that's exactly how a household should function. When it comes down to, hey, we're here. But what I don't mean when I say head of the household, like, God damn it.
But I think that's what he's meaning. I think he's meaning those men, because there are those men.
Yeah.
That really feel like, especially, don't let them make more money than the woman. Oh my gosh, like, oh yeah, I'm really the head of the household. Like,
Yeah.
I'm ahead of it. But nowadays, you got a lot of women that make more than men.
Yeah, you're right.
But she won't make him feel like he's inferior to her, because she knows we in it together. She's not the head of it. nor are you the head of it. We run it together. Like
Yeah, you're
it's like a king and a queen, we
absolutely
running it
exactly.
together. Like
Exactly. However, when it comes down to what I mean by head of the household, I'm meaning that there's a particular order, there's a particular sense, or there's a particular structure
Mhm.
that a man brings
Mhm.
that's lacking without him there.
His role.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And but that's what we mean. Well, that's what I mean.
Right.
When it comes down to man, because at the end of the day, we do run it together, right?
Absolutely.
Uh, and at the end of the day, sometimes it has to be the point that no, baby, that ain't how it's gonna go.
Exactly that's why I said
That
you
that
have
ain't
to know when it's a time for, okay, he had to take the lead on this, on this particular situation, and she has to take the lead on this
yeah,
particular situation.
yeah.
But like I said again, because of the man that you are, he's not speaking about the type of man that you are. He's speaking to the type of men that really have that mindset of, no, it's not a we do this together. It's a I run it. Like
Yeah.
I'm the head of the household. Like this is my house. Like, cause you have those men out here that really do handle women as like, you are behind me, not even
Mm.
beside me. Like you behind me
Oh no, I
because
can't.
I lead. That's why that. But remember,
No.
that was the whole reason we even talked about. If the shoe
Yeah.
doesn't fit, don't
Yeah.
try to force it. Like,
Yeah.
cause he's not, talking to
When it
you.
comes down, and also it comes down to cultures.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah,
It truly does
absolutely.
come down to cultures
Yeah,
as
you're
well.
right.
Because some cultures are just that,
Mhm.
right? You know,
Mhm.
whatever dad says, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like really, let's when when it really comes down to our household, right? When it comes down to how how the people that you're with, how your family acts when they're with you or outside of you and things like that, they are thinking, honestly, let's be honest, they are thinking back to the man, right? They're thinking about, well, bruh, like why you like not necessarily well, a lot of people say, why you handling this situation like this? Why you let him do this? Why you let him do that? Because your family is going to be an extension of who you are.
Mhm.
And I'm not I don't get when men be like, oh well, I gotta, I'm I run it all. There's nothing that you
Mm.
can do or say that's going to change anything. No, because at the end of the day, there are going to be some points, like at some point, because your woman is going to look at you to make these decisions. But at the end of the day, I don't have to sit here and tell you that I'm a man or that I'm the man of this house because if we're together, you already know that I'm the man of the house and you're the woman of the house, right? Um, but there are certain situations that happen, and the people in your family, the people in her family, look at you as the man to be able to get that situation handled. Because again, if you're the provider, if you are the protector, there is going to be a certain stipulation or viewpoint that everybody has on you that's not even spoken. You know
Mhm.
what you smiling over there so hard for?
Oh, I'm just listening. I'm just listening.
Nah, you got something to say. Come on,
Just. Ooh.
come on, talk to me.
I really just think it's dependent upon the person, because you have a lot of man boys out here that are really trying to convince themselves that they are the
Like we
man of
said
the
last week,
household.
absolutely,
And it's like, do
absolutely.
you really believe that you're the man of the household,
But
or
yeah,
like are you trying to convince yourself
a lot of them are
that
trying to
you
convince
are the
themselves.
man of the household? Because there are a lot of women who sit back and they know, like, you know what, this dude really isn't fit
Yeah,
to run the household or whatever the case may be. But I'm gonna be quiet. I'm not gonna stir the pot or make him upset by really letting him know, like, hey, no, you're not running the household
yeah,
the way that a head of the household or the man, of the household should be running it.
yeah,
Like you said previously or earlier, like that's something that has to be I don't like to use the word proved, but it's like that's something that has to be like earned or
Correct.
shown. Like like a woman has to, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a mother. So dating, even if I do decide, okay, hey, this is someone that I want to date, I have to see, are you able to really be the man of the household? Because I have a son. And you have to be able to show him, you have a son as well,
Mhm.
and I'm sure you want to show him what a man of a household is supposed to look like or is supposed to do. And there are a lot of men out here that, I'm the man of the household, but sweetie, you're not. Like,
Mm.
you're not.
Yeah, it's
Like-
a lot of them are trying to convince themselves that they are. Uh, a lot of the time, let's be honest.
Yeah.
A lion,
Yeah.
right? A lion,
Ooh, and men love to use that reference.
but the truest part of it is the fact that a lion doesn't have to tell you that it's a lion.
Exactly. Exactly.
It doesn't. A
Exactly.
lion, because a lion is
I'm a
chill.
lion.
I'm relaxed. You know who I am.
I'm
I'm
chilling.
I'm chilling. But
But
when it's time, when
oh
it's
yeah, I'm gonna
time,
show up when it's
oh,
time.
when it's time, baby.
The right lion, because
When
you do see other lions that come in and they take over. They
yeah,
take their territory
yeah,
because that
absolutely,
lion wasn't fit to
correct,
be the
absolutely.
head of that pride. Like
You're right. But this is the thing, right? Regardless of if a lion has to come in and take over, a lion, the lion,
hmm
he ain't gotta roar all the time.
Oh yeah,
He ain't
no,
gotta
he
he ain't
definitely
gotta get
doesn't.
your
No,
attention all the
yeah,
time.
definitely does not. No.
But when it's time to step into action, when it's
Yeah.
time to show you what I'm about, you gonna remember.
The right lion.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
all lions, the right
I,
lion.
I know.
Because I watch a lot of safari stuff with my son, and we watch different things where you have
hmm
young male lions that come right on in, and them older
hmm
lions, they get took, they get
Yeah,
got. Like,
absolutely.
and
Regardless,
you
but
think, oh, he's the older one, so he gonna get him, and it's like,
no, because
nope. Like,
and that is going to be the circle of life at that point, right? Because even like for me, when I get old, shit, my son got to take over.
No, nah, I still feel
Or
like even when you old, you still gonna be like, I'm the man. Like, I'm the lion. Like,
I am,
yeah, that's
I
why I say
am,
I still feel, because that's just who you are as a man. I
yeah,
feel like, again, not every man has that characteristic where even when they're older, they can still get a younger male, their son or whoever it may be, to, I ain't gonna say kneel or bow down, but you know what I
respect,
mean. Like, yeah, like, ooh, okay, daddy, I got you.
yeah,
Like, I'm a chill. We talked about that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I'm a chill. Like, I got.
yeah.
You got some that will buck at daddy and be like, oh, I
Oh,
could take you. But
I told my son the other day. I told him, I say, I'm coming. Me and my brother told me. I said, bro, I hope, I pray that day never comes. I truly pray that day
Cause
never
the way he
comes.
be looking at you,
And
it be so
I
funny.
told my son, I say, hey, son, I love you so much.
Absolutely.
I do. But
Absolutely.
please don't ever make it a day to
Please.
where we have to get with each other. Because I guarantee you, I promise you,
Daddy gonna show up.
I'm a
Like,
and I'm a show out.
absolutely. Because I'm the same, even being a mother.
Yeah.
I still have to let my son know,
Man, listen.
mama just look like this, baby.
Man,
Like,
I tell my siblings all the time. I say, bro, y'all don't realize what I've witnessed when it comes
Mhm.
down to our mother, and this
Mhm.
is why I don't even remotely
Oh
try
yeah,
it.
you did.
I don't I
You
don't
told,
try her like
yeah,
that,
because I didn't try my mama
right?
like that.
Because
I know a lot of women that be like, "Oh, I tried my mama." I be
no,
like, "Yeah,
my
no."
even my little sisters,
hmm
they ain't even tried my mama
Yeah, cause
because my mama's sweet or whatever. Like she's
yeah,
sweet now, but
but
if she really
yeah,
got it, but honestly, if she really got to get to it.
if she got to get right with you,
If
she gonna get
she
right with you.
she when I tell
Yeah,
you my
she
mama can
gonna.
right now, my mama
Yeah.
can open hand
Whew.
slap me on my back
In It's like,
And
you not gonna hit her back.
I'm not,
I
but
know.
it hurts. So it hurt too much.
Yeah.
It hurt too much.
I'm sick of it.
Like my mom got some heavy hands, man. And I looked at my sister early because I called my little sister Junior because she looked just like my mama.
Oh, gotcha.
And I was just like, and I seen her today. I'm like, Jesus, I would hate to see you have to fight somebody
Oh my goodness.
because she big.
Yeah.
Like
That's
she
why I
not
said
fat,
she-
but
no,
she.
I know what you mean. Yeah, like I can
she
get right
big.
with you.
I'm
Like,
like, oof.
that's why I told you earlier. She look like I might could take you. Like,
But she know what's up though. She
Of
know she
course.
say if Big Bro gotta if he get mad,
Of course.
then
But
that's
you know, that also stems from things that we go through in life. Because
Yeah.
a lot of times with a lot of, we'll just use kids for example. With a lot of kids, they may look at their parent, and because at some point in time, my son is going to be taller than me.
yeah.
But what he's going to fail to realize is mama has been through a lot.
Yeah.
Mama might be smaller than you, I might be shorter than you, but try me if you want to.
Yeah.
You be done got something, I be done got you for something that happened in 1991, like that you
All these emotions that came back.
that
You hear me?
wasn't even prepared for, and then you be looking like, ooh, my mama's stronger than I thought.
For
Like, yeah, because I
real.
done reached back and I
Yeah.
done pulled it all out. So
Yeah.
you get those. So that's probably why your sister's like, oh, especially by her being so much younger than
Yeah.
you. It's like, I might be a little bigger than him, or I might have a little size on me, but it boils down to, hey, he done lived life. He done
Yeah.
been through some things. So
Yeah.
the fact that he's lived life, his experiences can cause him to have more strength
Yeah.
than I may realize.
Say that part. No. Say that part one more time.
But his experiences may cause him to have more strength than I may realize.
And with that, the show is over. The show is over. Through his experiences, he may have more strength than I realize.
It goes both ways, man.
That's a powerful statement.
It is.
That is an absolutely powerful, because that goes into people overcoming some of their own situations.
Absolutely.
Because of your because of your experiences. You are
Yeah.
stronger than what you realize.
Yeah, than
what you realize.
Absolutely.
And ladies and gentlemen, with that, thank you for listening to the Richard Ray Uncensored Show, specially titled Richard Ray and Mrs. Bubbly Part 2. Thank you guys and ladies for listening in. I truly appreciate it. And I hope you guys really got something from it today and from last week's episode. I look forward to having her on again at some point whenever she's ready to make it happen. But again, thank you guys for listening to the Richard Ray Uncensored Show. And see you guys next week. Thank you.